Hi, my name is Jack Lew. I'm the Director of the White House Office of Management and Budget, and I'd like to talk for a few minutes about the challenges that we face as a country looking at our financial future. We obviously have a very deep problem facing us on the deficit, but we didn't always. You can see that as a government, we were running a surplus not that many years ago. In fact, I was Director of the Office of Management and Budget until 2001, and I left, and we were running a surplus of $5.6 trillion over the next 10 years. Since then, we've taken a dramatic turn. As you can see, we're running very deep deficits that, if we don't get them under control, will cripple our country going into the future. Some of them are as a result of the economic downturn. Some of them are a result of making a number of policy decisions, like cutting taxes and increasing spending without paying for it. The challenge that we face as a country is that we need to get from a place which is just unsustainable to a place where we can actually pay our bills and have a stable, secure future. I'd like to show you what the President's budget will do. Now, let me show you where we have come from and where we're going in kind of summary terms. When the President took office, the deficit as a share of our economy was growing to 10%. That is a huge deficit. If you look at this red line, it shows you that we've got a lot of progress to show for the last 2 years. The deficit is coming down considerably because of the decisions we've made that have gotten the economy growing again. It doesn't get us far enough, though. What the President's budget does is it takes the next step. It makes over $1 trillion of additional deficit reduction policy decisions, which have the effect of bringing this blue line down to a place which is a sustainable deficit, in the neighborhood of 3% of our economy over the next decade. It puts us in a place where we've cut our deficit in half from the time the President took office to 2013. It puts us in a place where we've cut the deficit by 2/3 by the end of 2020. Make no mistake about the fact that this blue line is not the end of the story. The President in the State of the Union described it as a down payment. It's a very important down payment. It's a down payment that puts us in a position where we can then move on to the discussion about how do we deal with the rest of the deficit problem. Like every family, we have to tighten our belts and live within our means while we're investing in the things that we need to have a strong and secure future. We need to do that on a bipartisan basis. There's no one side that has all the answers. We know that you have to stabilize where we're going before you can move on and solve the rest of the problem. This budget does that. It does it in a way that we look forward to working on a bipartisan basis to make policy for our country. Thank you very much.